Hello, niche website builders. Hello, everyone else. How are we doing?
Hello. Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
I was going to say, why do me and Adam get just a tiny quarter?
I don't know why I was in that. I don't know why. I was very self-conscious there. I had the big window, so I don't know. Need to make me at least in the small window. How's everybody? Okay.
Good.
Yeah, doing great.
Cool. Just a shout out for some of the people that are already here. 22 people already enjoying the stream. Martin. We've got Martin, we've got Chris, we've got Brian, we've got Adrian, we've got Bill, we've got Birdie, we've got Daniel, we've got Joanne, we've got Tim. I don't think I missed anybody. Gustavo, it's G. So, it's been a week. A few of us have met up and gotten together, but let's talk about us in a bit. How's your week been, Doug?
Yeah, it was good. My wife was out of town, so it was just Georgie and I. Played a lot of guitar, drank a lot of beer, and it was pretty quiet. But it was a good weekend.
Sitting in your pants, watching Netflix.
Yeah. I've been watching this show, Superstore. You guys watched that one? Have you seen that?
Superstore?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a big box store. So like I don't know what you guys have over there, but it's like a Walmart over here, basically. What's the equivalent to Walmart?
It's
Asda,
like
Tesco.
Asda, yeah.
Okay.
Over here, it's a company called Carrefour, French company, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like that, and it's one of the creator is one of the writers from The Office. So it's like kind of that kind of humor. But watched a lot of that while I was playing guitar and stuff. So yeah, very chill weekend. What about you guys?
yeah, go on, Alex.
Who's going first? Well, I've been back in the UK for Affiliate Gathering, of course, which was fantastic fun. We came out real hyped, got to meet a lot of people that are in the chat right now, a lot of viewers and other people in the community, a lot of drinking, a lot of chatting, a lot of networking, a lot of learning. And yeah, it was nice to go back to the UK, but also nice to come back here afterwards. And yeah, I got to meet with Mark and Adam in like real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time. Had by all, I think.
Yeah, it felt really brief, like the actual meeting, because like obviously we saw your pre-thing the night before, and you kind of, but there's loads of other people around that like to talk to and do things, so you sort of have a brief chat. I think there's plenty of time, there's loads of time, and then barely see each other the next day at the actual event, and then it's gone. I just feel like we need to spend more time next week. I think Adam, like afterwards or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you can actually spend a day or whatever.
Well, you didn't even hang around for the after show party thing.
Well, when we booked it, we didn't know that existed.
Maybe did Carl not invite you? I don't know.
It was a Zoic, wasn't it? So it was a Zoic party.
Were paying for it, yeah. Sarah was there. She flew over from the States.
Yeah.
So
we
had some pictures with Sarah. She was paying, so that was good. And then afterwards, they were hiring a car and going like through Wales and stuff. I don't know if they ever made it back to America or if they're still like lost in deepest, darkest Wales.
Oh, they even went to Wales, did they? All right.
Yeah. And they were like getting a car. It was like stick. And they were like, why are all the cars in the UK stick? And I'm like, I don't know. Why are all the cars in the UK stick? Have we not realised automatic is far, far easier and less stressful? Especially there's so much traffic in the UK. You can't actually drive properly anyway. So does anyone know why all the cars in the UK are stick?
Nah.
I don't think you do.
No idea.
I don't know. But yeah, I think the automatic transmissions, like they're more efficient now. So there might be like 9 gears and they can it's better fuel efficiency. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just because the Brits just historically like to drive with stick because that's like proper driving, isn't it? Proper driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's quite a lot more automatics now, isn't there? Especially with all the electric cars coming out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, I just felt like it was just felt like a long day, but it was all very brief. So yeah, I don't know. How long did you hang around for after? Did you stick around York after that?
Yeah, I hung around on the Friday. So yeah, I stayed, had some beers in the hotel afterwards, and then we went to the Zoic thing, and then we went somewhere else, and then it was 1:30 in the morning, and staggering back through York, and And then the next day, my parents came to pick me up because I was going to I went to spend the evening with them in Harrogate, and I was a little shaky that morning. But I had some strong Yorkshire tea and a scone, and I was fine.
Anyway, okay. Well, Adam and I, in long story short, Adam and I had commitments by the time we realised there was an after party, so we had to get back. But
that's bad planning.
Sadly, next time. Now we know. No, it's the first time.
Well, next time.
Next year, the tickets are out already for next year. So next year.
Oh yeah. They are. Yeah, tickets are already out.
Are the
Doug,
dates
see you over there
already,
next time.
Are the dates already confirmed?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
The date's confirmed. Alex, do you know?
Are they? Sorry, you're stripping out. Yeah, they are already on sale. The tickets.
I
think
the date's confirmed though.
Already. No, I don't know if they are. I don't think people are just buying it just on the hope that they're going to be free probably in a year's time. It'd be similar. It'll be May, I'd have thought again. But yeah, I think 20% have gone already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mark and Adam missed the world's longest glow stick. You're absolutely right. Phil was there with his missus and children, and there was Ezoic glow sticks, and the kids got hold of them and then joined them all together and like looped it around the pub. It probably was the longest glow stick in the world.
It looks like
But that's when you have a merch budget, isn't it? When you have some marketing budget, Ezoic, what should we buy? Glow sticks. That's what we need.
Looks like on the Eventbrite page that the dates are set for the 19th of May 2023. So maybe they have set the date. I don't know.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was good. So we saw Ben Alder is working from the US. There's someone from Australia who came for the day.
That's a long way to come for the day.
Yeah, people from all over Europe and that as well, and a few people from the US. So it was really good. It's good for just shows how fewer events there are dedicated to exactly content publishers, because there's SEO events, but there's nothing there's not a lot directly for us, or specifically dedicated to us. So a lot of people traveled quite a long way to come and meet up, so it's quite good. Anyway, Adam, but yeah, I don't know. It's not. We reported yesterday on this is our channel this week, so I guess we reported our stuff. Anything happened since yesterday?
Well, really, I'm going to see the new Top Gun film tonight in 4D. So I'm interested to see what 4D actually means. I don't know if that means just seat moves a little bit when the plane takes off and stuff, or I don't know, but should be fun. I'm going to see it in IMAX.
It means the whole experience is an unpleasant, like motion sickness, enduring thing. A lot of shaking and things spraying in your face, and you'll love it.
Sign me up. This sounds
is
like
it the original Top Gun or a remake?
No, it's the new one. So it's a brand new one, but Tom Cruise is still in it.
Oh, okay.
You must be getting hard up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. So yeah, anything new for me is like a bird flew into my window this morning, and then a magpie tried to peck it to death. So I rescued it, and that's sitting in a box in my office trying to cling on to life. So I'm hoping it makes it.
Well, you might make it as a vet then if all this fails. You can.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So guess we should crack on with what we're planning to talk about today. So the art of working remotely and its pitfalls is the topic for today. So I guess everyone has worked in an office right here at some point.
Yes.
Everybody work full time, 5 days a week. In the office.
We've all done that.
So I guess working remotely comes with its benefits and not, I guess, and downsides and upsides. But I've always considered it to be like all upside. Like I can't think of anything bad about working remote. But I think going to the affiliate gathering, it kind of shone the light on me a little bit of like actually some of the things you do miss out on, and it kind of made it a little bit. And I guess it depends on your personality as well. Like some people just can't bear the thought of like working remotely and working on their own and want to be around people. So other people are the other way around. So, I mean, what is it that you guys like working remotely, and what is it that you don't miss or you miss from being in-house or in person? Alex, what do you reckon?
I'll start with what I miss. I think I miss the banter. There's always good at banter in an office, isn't there? If you're in with a good team and some good colleagues. And yeah, they're just human interactions. I think that's important. Going out for lunch, people, if you're allowed out for lunch, depends who you work for. But yeah, just the office kind of fun and the office events, you know, maybe going out after work on a Friday, the social side of things. I enjoyed that. Obviously, the free stationery is good. That's always nice. Pens, paper, you know, paper clips, whatever you want. Obviously, don't overdo that. But yeah, and also just kind of having a bit of focus. You kind of go to work, you're in work mode. Obviously, only productive for maybe 5 of those 8 hours a day, generally, normally. But I like that kind of focus, which is probably one of the downsides of, of working from home is the distractions. So, you know, my family are here, the kids are here and stuff. So it's very easy to get distracted, especially if I want to record and stuff. It can be a bit of a nightmare, or even stream the kids off from walking on the stream and stuff. But obviously, the benefits are huge. There's no commute. You can work when you want. You can work in a cafe. I went to do some work up the cafe earlier, you know, views of the sea and like nice coffee and good Wi-Fi. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially now you're in Spain, right? So the sea view and everything. Coming into the summer, living the dream. It's good.
But I am actually considering maybe getting a little bit of office space or something. Just I've got somewhere to escape to, because the problem is the house in Spain is a lot smaller than the house we had in the UK. So that I'm in like my daughter's bedroom at the moment. This is my office. I share it with her, so it's not ideal. I was thinking about maybe building one, but I don't know if that's gonna work out. So I may. Well, I guess that's still kind of working remotely, isn't it? I don't know. Is working remotely the same as working from home? I don't know.
Yeah, we're working remotely. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, probably. Don't know.
It is slightly different because like when I finished, I worked from home, and struggled because I couldn't get back into the swing of leaving to go and do like the 9 till 5 and leaving as if I'm going into work mode and coming home. So I just got some office space, like a hot desk in. And even though I was pretty much the only one there, it felt different. I was the only one there, but it felt different having a destination to go to and set up for the day as if you're in work, and then finish your day at work and come home. I don't feel like
change your mindset, definitely, and you kind of your way you're thinking. I even find that like when I was traveling to York, you know, I find I'm really productive, like in an airport or on a train or something, where again you have that focus. There's nothing else really to do, so you just do it. Whereas when you're at home, there are so many distractions. You think, I could just go and do that washing up, or I could put some washing on, or I could go and paint the fence or whatever. You get distracted by stuff at home. Whereas when you go somewhere to work, it does focus you more. So and I've fallen in love now with airport lounges. I think just, you know, going and get the good Wi-Fi, you've got enough refreshments that you can, you know, want, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I think
great place to work.
I've never really struggled working from home. Like that's the one thing I don't miss at all, is like the amount of people walking up to your desk. So they're in your space, you can't get rid of them, but they just sit there and they want to chat for like half an hour. You're like, I've really got this thing to do, and you're just going to stand there for half an hour. I think the lack of productivity at home is nothing compared to like when you're in office quite often. I was one of those people that when I was in the office as well, I'd put in like noise cancelling headphones, and I'd be the one like sitting in the corner like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to like get on with my work, be productive, and feel like I've had a good day. And
sorry, the most antisocial.
What's that? Yeah,
exactly.
Sounds so antisocial. I sit in the corner on my own. No one even look at me. Don't come and talk.
Head down, headphones on.
That is exactly the vibe. I mean, obviously people come over and I do talk to them, but like, I hate having all that distraction around me and like suddenly hear a conversation that you kind of get dragged into or whatever. That's why I just put my headphones on, get in the zone. And I've always found that just being in my own space at home like that, it's much easier just to do that. Of course, it's difficult when kids distract you when I sit up in the bedroom, and that was much worse. But like that, I still think it's nothing compared to like the total time wasted. Well, especially if you factor in travel, right? Travel time as well that you're doing, traveling to an office wherever you're going. Before we go to Doug, then, so what's the longest commute like any of you have done for like consistently commuting?
40 minutes both ways, I think. It's about it really.
Doug.
I had about hour and a half each way for a certain project. And that was back in the consulting days. So your project could shift and be like further out. But the Atlanta traffic is pretty famous. And yeah, I lived like in the city and had to go like, I think it was like 35 miles into the suburbs. So it was, I mean, that's when I listened to a ton of podcasts. There was just plenty
Yeah.
of time. Can't
That
get in a
sounds like you're
hurry.
going against the flow of traffic there, were you?
It
Surely
doesn't
everyone was trying to
matter.
get into the
Yeah.
city and you're trying to get out.
It at one point in time, like you could kind of be against the traffic, but I think, generally there was just too much saturation. It didn't matter which direction in certain areas, it just got congested. I don't know why. Yeah, you'd think at some point you're like, I'm against traffic, but you never you never were.
You're always, you just are traffic.
Yeah,
You
that's
are the
right.
problem.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, I traveled 2 hours at least, like what each way. What at one point for a year. I had a girlfriend that was down in Eastbourne at university, and I used to work in Sutton. It was my first job, so I had no thoughts about just get a different job. But so I it used to be a slow train from Eastbourne up to South Croydon, and then I'd have to do half an hour walk from South Croydon to East Croydon like station, or vice versa. And then it was like another 20-minute walk the other end when I got off the station. I was doing like a good 15 minutes walking just a day, like just in that commute. But yeah, it's a long old commute. And although Phil's mentioned there 90 minutes to London and back, like that commute was bad, but at least it was sitting on a train reading a book. Like when I went to London from Reading as well, but it used to be like the other side of London. It used to take 90 minutes, but it's getting off trains, onto tubes, onto another tube. Too many people, too hot. Can't really do anything because you can't sit down and read a book. Just squished like sardines, like that. That's hell. Like I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll
I've
take
done
that longer
that. Yeah.
journey. Never do that. Yeah,
I worked in Hammersmith for a while, which that's about 2.5 hours from Bedford on the trains, and that's if everything works. But Hammersmith, a city line, notoriously bad tube line. So if any of that fails, then you could take 3 hours, 4 hours, and yeah. And I felt like I was just kind of getting up early in the morning, going to work, coming back home late, literally just sleeping at home, and then getting up and going out again. It was like I'm just traveling all this way just to go home and sleep, and then coming back out again. I lasted 6 months with that one.
Yeah. Doug, do you miss anything?
No. I was gonna say, I mean, there might be, there's a small portion, right? Like you guys were saying, you do have a little of the office banter, and you can like make friends with people that you work with. But over the years, like we've kind of shaped that sort of community, like online, like we know each other, like we'll chat occasionally. We're doing this show, right? Because we enjoy talking together so much. It's like, well, we may as well share it, right? But everything else is so much better that it would have to be, I mean, just dramatically some huge upside, but there was very little. Part of it that I maybe have a hard time decoupling is like the work I was doing was I wasn't interested in it. It was pretty pointless. Like overall, it was like billing software for iPhones for a big telecom company. Like it didn't really matter that much. It was like really kind of dumb projects and dumb software. And maybe a little exciting when you first have the job. But like I said, I can't really decouple the pointlessness of the work that I was doing with going into the office. And that's probably different for other people. And I certainly had, I think back to times when I had like a good team I was working with. Particularly there was a team in Dallas, and we were all like in our 20s. There were 6 of us or so. We all flew in from out of town. We lived at a West End hotel. It was like really nice. And the problem was we had to commute and then, go into the office there. But the commute wasn't, just a drive. It was like flying in each week. So, I worked out there for like 6 months. So you're on a plane, twice a week, like flying back and forth, which is kind of crazy. But Yeah, I can't think of anything that I miss. And then, you listed out a few things like some distractions at home, but those are great. Like overall, I mean, if you if you want to procrastinate, you can kind of be productive and like sweep and vacuum or something like that. And you're like, all right, at least I'm doing some housework. But even more so, you can get things done when everyone else is like doing work. Especially, I mean, I guess if you have like a structured schedule, you may not be able to do this. But I love going to grocery shopping or other stuff, other errands, just on like, Wednesday or Thursday at 10 a.m. Like the only
Yeah.
people out are retired or, just there's no lines at the stores. So
Yeah.
Rather than, used to do that stuff on like a Saturday, like wasting a good Saturday to go to the store or
yeah,
get a haircut. Sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff where if you do, on a Saturday, the barbers is always heaving. You can't get in there, but you go on a Tuesday morning and you're straight in.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot the other week, and I went out on a Saturday, and like everyone was there. There's kids everywhere too, which is even worse than regular people. So
Those small people.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably thinking about what you're saying now, like the banter and stuff. Like, I think when you're first starting out in your career and you're working, like you make a lot of friends in that early time, and they become the people you kind of go out drinking with, you go out and do stuff with. A bit like the pandemic. I think it's like we're when I started working, I was already kind of settled down with my missus, and when I went remote working, and then I've had kids since, and so I don't really go out and do that much stuff like that anymore. But I guess when I first started work, that was when I was making all my friends work. We'd go out on a Friday night or whatever night of the week, and I guess you don't get that chance to meet people and go and socialize with them, which means you're relying on online friends we just see on a screen, or the friends you've already had, I guess, from school or family. Like you don't, yeah. I guess it's the younger people that kind of really must be difficult, or maybe they don't know any better. But those were the best times, like when you can first start out and socialize a lot with the workmates. And
have you guys tried like co-working spaces or like meetups to get some community otherwise?
I used to it's not for a few years, but I used to go into co-working spaces, but they're not. Yeah, I didn't find those great. They're not the same. Like they're still, because generally they're not always the same people there anyway. So it's not like you ever build like a real bond with people. And I think that's what we found at Affiliate Gathering. Kind of, you see, I mean, it's a little bit different. Kind of talking to like Alex regularly enough now that actually when we saw him, it didn't feel too like, oh, well, like this is special that we're, it was nice to meet in person. Whereas like meeting some of our customers that we might have chatted to on Zoom like once or whatever, and otherwise has worked on email, to actually make that connection physically, it's so much better and so much. You can put a name to a face and actually feel their presence. It's very different, I think. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I've made some rambling notes here because I think I'm going to go against the grain a bit. I actually miss working in an office. I don't miss working for someone else, but I miss working in an office environment. And like I put some notes, and I think it's for a couple of reasons. Like the first one is, and I don't know if you guys get this, but I find like talking on Slack or text message or Messenger, I actually find it quite draining. Like some days I just feel like I don't even want to reply to like any kind of messages like that. I find it draining to talk to people like that way. Whereas in an office, like you're there and you're face to face and things flow naturally, and it doesn't feel draining. I don't think. Like that's the first thing I miss is just like speaking to people, not having to talk typically via text. And to do with that as well, I also find I think me and Mark are slightly different situation than most because we've got each other to kind of bounce off. But if I was doing this on my own, like I'd find it really hard to brainstorm with people over like Slack or Messenger or something. Like I think I'd find that aspect really hard to just kind of vibe and bounce ideas around and come to a kind of conclusion about where we should go, what we should be doing, and things like that. Whereas I found in an office environment, like, they just come natural. And it's probably just because of the way I prefer to communicate. Obviously, I prefer to talk to people and speak to them face to face. So yeah, some days it's fine, but some days I just find that whole kind of setup really really draining. I don't know how else to put it. Just hard work. Like, you force yourself to do it.
Yeah. I think like, as well as about being in an office, sometimes ad hoc conversations just happen.
Yeah.
Organically, because someone said something, and then you have a conversation, and then you get something really good out of it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen if you're working not, over Zoom. Just having meetings over Zoom, you don't get that other stuff that kind of just happens organically. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to say one more down point, because there definitely are good points, but I think the other downside for me of working from home or working remotely is it's like the double-edged sword. You've got the freedom and the flexibility to kind of work your own hours, and like you said, there's distractions. But if I wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I'm ready to go to work, like when I worked in an office, I wouldn't leave the house 2 hours early and go to work and start work at 6:30 just because I was awake. But in the house, I find I do that. It doesn't seem to be like a filter. And same in the evenings, like, in an office environment, typically finish at 5:30, close your laptop, you go home, and then you finish for the day. But it's not like that when you work from home. I think you have to be strict with your time management, because you can easily, I just work till 6, and then I'll wait till 6:30, and then it's 7, and then before you know it, like, you're getting up really early to start because you can, and you're working really late because you can, because there's kind of no one telling you not to, and there's no office opening hours or standard 9 till 5 hours. And I've got better at not doing that. But first, when we started the business, like, I was working some crazy hours because I just couldn't find the balance between stopping and starting, which I think is a side effect of working from home or remote working, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one counterpoint, I agree with what you said, but I'm pretty sure the work culture of, like, wherever you work dictates whether or not you're expected to work at home. Because I was going to say, with remote teams and teams, 12 hours ahead, you end up, I remember I would have to, like, host a call at like 6:30 in the morning, on a regular basis, like every fucking day. Right. And then other times it was, just the expectation that you would pick up the phone and then deal with emails at like 8 p.m. So it's pretty much the same. And you'd have to manage it regardless basically if you're working in the office or not. Yeah. Because everybody has their phone and laptop now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the culture dictates that, doesn't it? Whether even like some offices, they say you do 9 till 5, but nobody leaves till 6, for example. Or it looks like.
Because the second you start leaving at 5, the boss is like, "Oh, you going home? Are you off? Are you?"
Yeah.
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 That is a big culture thing that's slipped in. That if you want to progress within a company, you have to put them extra hours in, which are basically unpaid work. Although most people aren't paid by the hour in an office, it's still like, you pay me this much a year for this many contracted hours in theory. Yeah. They actually want another 20% out of you for free.
Yeah, for sure.
To make them rich.
on the flip side, like, there's other things I really love working from home. So seeing Parker, my little boy, like, I get to see him go to school every day, and I didn't see that. Typically, I would have been left because of the commute before I see that, and I get to see him when he comes home and ask him about his day, because I don't have to answer anyone. I can just go down for 15, 20 minutes and speak to him as soon as he comes through the door. So there are those nice things, and you can structure your day how you want. So if there are days where he's got sports day coming up, I think it's next week or the week after, during the day, like, I can make that time up in the night. You don't have to ask for time off. So I guess the flexibility is the bit that I like the most about working from home, I think.
You said make that time up, but have you got in your mind a set number of hours that you have to put into work? Because I know that I don't see kind of the job. I just kind of work when I want to work, and I don't think, I haven't done as many hours this week as maybe I should do. I don't know, that kind of thought never crosses my mind anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting because we mentioned this on our last week's stream where I kind of talked about having the mentality of still doing the 9 till 5. Otherwise, it wouldn't be structured. And I still have that. But like I said, it's creeped from 9 till 5 to kind of 8 till 6 and maybe 7:30 till 6:30 kind of day. I don't count hours or anything, but I don't feel like I've been productive unless I've been at my desk working throughout the day.
Yeah. But again, I think productivity is, and hopefully Doug will back me up on this, productivity is not always linked to the number of hours that you put in. You can do something ultra productive in a couple of hours that could have a huge impact on your business. Then I can sit here and for 5 hours and just be doing some emails and checking some analytics and feel like I've not been productive, even though I've put more time in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
That's massive. It's where
I think productivity does not come down to time. It actually comes down to picking the tasks that are productive, that have a big effect on what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I think you're right, but it's hard. It's hard to get out of the mindset because when you work a 9 till 5, you're not taught that. When you work a 9 till 5, you can't go in 9 till 12 and say I've been really productive all day, therefore I'm finishing early for the day.
Yeah.
So I think it's just ingrained. I think maybe.
Yeah, it is. It's a stupid way to buy time, to sell time, to buy projects. Because when I sell services, which I don't do anymore, but when I used to, people would say, what's your hourly rate, or can you do this on my website? How many hours is that going to take? It'd be like, it doesn't really matter how many hours it's going to take for me to do that task. It's going to cost this much. At the end of the day, if I'm good and I can do it in half an hour, then bonus, you can pay someone else by the hour and it can take them all week. Which one's better?
Now you say that, like I tell my wife the same thing, but I don't tell it to myself. So when she makes a cake, I'll say, how much are you charging for that cake? Because she always undercharges, and she says, £30. It's only going to take me 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, but they don't know it's going to take you 20 minutes. And so what? The cake is great. You should be charging more. But then I'll come up here and I'll sit here all day.
Not the time that you put into the cake. The cake is what you're selling.
Yeah. One of the other side effects of that is I would get tasks that were something that you could speed up and optimize and maybe automate a little bit, maybe set up macros or something like that. So you'd get a task where someone was doing something manually, and then I would figure out how to do this like 4-hour task in like 15 minutes. Like you just kick it off. And then of course you would never tell anyone you figured out how to automate it, because then they're going to give you like 3 hours and 45 minutes of more work, which is pretty fun. So yeah, we would do stuff like that. Like just, oh yeah, we got this thing down to a very small amount of work. But yeah, it was crazy. People would just do stuff manually. And then we would also, kind of side note, but related to just taking advantage of the technology, we would schedule emails to be sent out to the point of like working later. We're like, we're not going to work that late. So we'd schedule an email once they added that in Outlook to send at like whatever, 7:30 p.m. So same deal. Like if I finished a task early, I wouldn't tell people right away. I'd schedule an email to go out hours later, like, hey, finished up, here's the thing, let me know.
At that time you're already sitting in the bar having a cold one and the email has gone out. Doug's working late tonight.
And all the time, Doug, like schedule emails every day to go out really early and really late, so people just think,
they're like, man, that person, we'll see, people would do it, like people would actually be up and send stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to compete with that. That's so silly. That's dumb. But yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'm going to start doing that. So Mark thinks that I'm working like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm up then at 5. What have you been doing today? Check the inbox, check the outbox, Mark. Like I've smashed it all day.
Well, on the reverse side, though, I mean, I totally agree. Like you got to pick your battles and pick your tasks. Like you got to pick stuff that's going to be productive. If you run a business or you're working for yourself, you don't want to be doing stuff that's not going to be beneficial. But at the same time, I think if I was really productive in my first 3 hours of the day, like I can be productive in my next 3 hours of the day as well. It's like I'm not going to like then go and take, oh yeah, shit, I've done a great job today. I'm gonna that's just my mentality. But like I think you're trying to smash it every day, aren't you? And especially if you are in the zone on that day, you probably want to like do.
Kind of are, but I always have the mentality that you might be dead tomorrow. and
Yeah.
the time in the day is the least time I could spend on work and the more time I can spend on life. That is my priority. So if I've done something and I've achieved something today, then I'm happy to write the day. I'll take the kids up the beach, go meet up with friends, that kind of thing, because that has a higher value to me than anything else.
I totally agree. I don't do it, and I'd probably do what Ariel is doing here. It's like, I'm working really hard today for tomorrow and I might be dead, but I'm working really hard today for tomorrow and I might be dead. But I'm hoping I won't be dead. But it's possible, and I struggle with that battle in my head all the time. Like, I could be dead. I'm doing all this work and I could die before I actually get to enjoy it.
Yeah. And on your deathbed, you're not going to go, damn, I wish I'd put more work in. If I'd just put a few more hours in, geez, you're going to go, damn, why did I not spend more time with my family and friends? Why did I not take that trip to wherever it is I want to go? That's what you're going to say. You're not going to even think about your business.
Well, the other risk as well is that I think I work this hard thinking I'm going to set myself up for a more comfortable retirement or earlier retirement. And the risk is as well is you work really fucking hard and actually you don't achieve that goal, don't get there. And then you've worked really hard when you could have been just not working as hard and enjoying life and still got to the same place. So that's the other risk as well, I think about all the time.
It's weird. And again, it's all coming back to that old culture and old mentality of just you've got to put so many hours in and all that kind of stuff. That's the thing when, technology is such an enabler and such a way of making things efficient, as Doug has already said. And what tends to happen is technology comes along into a company, like, for example, I don't know, into something like farming. It makes farming a lot more efficient and a lot better. So what do? Then they just start laying staff off. We don't need all these workers anymore because we've got like a tractor with a thing that can do their job and we don't need them anymore. Rather than actually trying to improve everyone's lives, all it does is it improves the bottom line of the company or the farm or whatever. But actually, if we looked at it in a proper way, we could actually improve everyone's lives with this technology. You could still have the same amount of staff, but they could work 4 days a week. It takes less time to do stuff now. And it's always about, okay, well, we're still going to make them work hard. We're just going to need less of them. So let's get rid of a load of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just that whole culture and work ethic that is ingrained into so many businesses and people that just means that a lot of people miss out on their life.
And Alex, just to echo and go like one step further, like I realized I was in that space because like I think we all got to the spots that we're in because we're like ambitious and we're trying to do stuff and grow and blah, blah, blah. And it's pretty fun, but it's hard to like pump the brakes. And basically there's always someone doing a little better, a little more. And you're like, I just want to get to that point and then I'll be like more content. Doesn't work. You could keep doing that. It can be fun, right? If you pick a fun thing, it's a nice sort of infinite game, right? But I realized I was going down that path. And actually, I talked to a friend recently who was like, I want to make $100K a month. And I'm like, why? What are you going to do with $100K a month? It's like just an arbitrary like goal. And that would be great. I mean, that's it's like crazy amount of money, right? But what's it going to take to get there? And it's really probably not worth it overall, unless you're going to do something crazy. But anyway, the point is I scheduled my work week. So like Fridays are off and then most Mondays are completely off. I may do maybe like one interview just in case the time zone issues pop up or something. But I'm only working really like 3 days a week and usually not like 8-hour days or anything close to it. Now, before I take say 6 weeks off or something, I'm like, all right, I got to work pretty far ahead so that I have, all this content and other things set up. But yeah, like to your point, Alex, I want to do other stuff, not sit at my computer all day. So, and it's really hard because like, people are doing more and bigger and better stuff. And someone asks about a different blogger out there who's super successful, Adam Infroy. And I've seen him around, but it's a lot of work to do all the stuff that he's doing. And I think he's probably a younger man than I am. Like, I don't have that energy anymore, maybe like 15, 20 years ago, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm pretty content where I'm at. So have you guys set up?
He's all about building big sites. Is that what he's about? And just going wide and just not kind of niching down?
Yeah. So check out his site. I mean, it would be interesting to get y'all's take sometime, but my general understanding is he's going after like pretty competitive sort of marketing and blogging type terms. And then he's doing like a huge amount of guest posting. And Ron Stefanski did a similar thing, although I don't know if he knew that. I mean, it's a common thing, right? Publish content that's high quality and long form, and then get a bunch of guest posts. Like, it's the same thing that we were talking about 8 years ago. It's like the exact same plan. So that's, to my understanding, that's what he's done, and he's leveled up like his guest posting, and it's not like crappy guest posts that you could buy out there and just like pay a few bucks. These are like very good blogs. So from my understanding, it's like really profitable. And of course, if you can rank something like how to start a blog and then link to some hosting company, I mean, that could be like 50 or 60K a month. I've heard a few interviews where someone ranked for it. And then the problem is you have like thousands of people ready to step over your back, gunning for you for years, right? This is not a, hey, I think I'm going to try this out. This is like someone for like 18 months or 3 years, like trying to rank the thing. And then there's the momentum that they have. So like once you drop off, like if you're not continuing to push, and like I said, I just don't have the energy or the desire or the need to do that. But I think it's probably really good if you do have the energy and you're like really competitive. I'm not competitive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Adam Enfoy he's got a course to sell. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Of course he has. Yeah.
Of course he
does.
does.
Yeah, that's fine. Which, but someone buys a course and then they think, well, that's what I've got to do. That can turn them off. A lot of people, that's a lot of work. I mean, obviously, it is a lot of work. All of this is a lot of work, but it doesn't have to be as much as that.
One thing, and I've spoken to a couple of people, I don't think I'm the only one that feels this way, but one thing I personally struggle with, like we all just talked about wanting to work hard so then we can enjoy ourselves more, or just, taking some time off to enjoy ourselves more, but trying to figure out what actually makes you happy. I really struggle with that, because apart from my family, like Jess and Parker, I really don't know what makes me happy as an actual person outside of work, because that's pretty much what I know. I don't really have a ton of hobbies.
You make me feel sad now.
Yeah, I mean, Mark talked about this recently when we talked about, yeah, I do. Talked about like, even just as basic as books. Like I used to love reading fiction books, storybooks. But now I can't read a fiction book really. I don't feel like I'm enjoying it, because I feel like I'm always have to be on, always have to be learning. And I don't get the same enjoyment out of that kind of book anymore. And it's as simple as a book. And I was speaking to someone recently who they'd exited a company and they're very, they're set for life now. And he's still working. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you still working? He said, I don't know. Like, it's like, why? And that trying to figure out what makes me happy outside of work. He really struggles with, and he's well into his like late 40s now, early 50s. And I don't know how how did you guys, it's really bad. Like, how did you guys know what made you happy outside of work? How did you get to that point?
Oh man, I was gonna say we should do a whole topic on happiness.
Yeah,
because you can go on and on.
We need some more topic ideas. Doug, add that one onto your next one.
Okay, got it. And I have to go
early. We can touch on it now as a little spoiler, a little preview.
Well, I was going to say my observation. I have to leave early, so I'm going to talk a little bit more now, guys. Sorry, I know I'm just jumping in here. But Adam, your friend who exited, I have seen this with a couple people, and I think they don't, like you said, they don't know what to do to be happy, but they could like work, and that takes a lot of time, and they're just working and not like spending time with their family perhaps, or other things or like spending time to figure out what makes them happy and like do the hard work on their self to like sit and not just be busy, because if you're busy all the time, then you don't have to like deal with shit. And that is, I mean, I'm sure I do that too, but like I have a ton of hobbies. Like I could do other stuff like for weeks. I would probably not get bored at all. And I am not sure, like I think I slowly got into it, but I've always had like various interests, and then I'll focus on one thing for like a really long time. So yeah, I don't know. It's like you have to have dead or like empty space to get bored, and then like try to fill the boredom.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This one's similar to me, Marcus here. Adam and I have a similar feeling. For example, I don't enjoy watching Netflix stuff because I always feel I could do more productive things. Adam and I have talked about this as well. I can't enjoy. I've always been like I have to be doing something productive. So I don't read fiction books. I don't watch fiction things. It has to be if I'm going to watch something, which is rare, it's like documentaries or something that's real and genuine that I might learn something from. I always feel like I'm wasting my time if I'm just for fun. Just gonna watch this thing because it's funny or whatever.
That's just the mindset, and I had that for a long time as well. But now I'm like, I can just chill and watch like Cobra Kai on Netflix.
It's a great one.
Enjoy it, and because it's completely pointless, nostalgic rubbish, but I love it and it's fun. And I'll play Xbox, or my life has changed to be fair in terms of happiness since moving here because it's far more social. So, people are always asking, do you want to go out for lunch? You want to go out for a drink? And just socializing and being with people from different nationalities, different countries, that's what makes me happy. Just taking the kids out at the park to the beach, that makes me happy. But that has changed a lot because there were less options in England to do that. Whereas here, literally, I went out earlier to do some work, and on my way back, the neighbour said, do you want to go out for a drink? Do you want to go out for a coffee or beer? Then when I'm picking the kids up from school, another guy that I've just met, he said, should we go out for a beer? And it's just, there's so many social things on, and I love that. But also just with the family and the kids things, just from going away this weekend, I hadn't seen her for 4 days. When I came back, my youngest, especially, who's 5, she looked different. She looked bigger. They grow so fast. And that is my one fear. And it does go that you turn around and suddenly they're leaving home and you've missed it because you've been at your laptop for 8 hours every day.
Yeah.
And that's enough to scare me into not working.
Yeah. I think when we do the happiness episode, like maybe you two can coach me and Adam, because I think me and Adam have the same problem. So, you guys have found it in some way. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
But I mean, from the vibe I get from you two, you've got enough income coming in, everything. I mean, you could easily just step back and be fine. But I guess you're just trying to fill your time. You're like, well, what am I going to do? I don't like the books. I don't want to watch Netflix. What a waste of time. I'm just going to do some work. And then when you're working, you don't get any of those feelings because you're working. And you also get that kind of dopamine hit when you achieve something, when a deal comes in, when you get a win in your business. So that's just the same as playing on the Xbox. You're getting some kind of gratification from making money.
Yeah.
I think that just stems back to the need of being satisfied with what you've got as well, because I think part of the reason why we work so hard is we want more. But then you get like we talked before, it gets to the point where more doesn't make you happy. You just think you want more. But it's a really hard mindset to get. That's a really hard mindset shift, I think, to get too comfortable with what you've got versus always wanting the next level, always wanting the nicer house and the faster car, and they're just materialistic things. It could be just better security for your family and stuff, I think. And I think everyone's different. Everyone's got a different point. Everyone's got a different amount they need to get to, maybe. But it's probably lower than what we think, which means we don't have to work so hard.
I think so, but also, I mean, running an agency, we've chosen something that takes up a lot of hours and is hard work. So I don't think we could just step back from that, just in an instant. Lots of people rely on us at the moment to do stuff for them. So
it's like a flywheel thing, right? You guys can't step out for too long.
Yeah, it is. I mean, hopefully we can kind of work something out at some point, but we just don't have that option right now. It's a lot of work. We're still in the infancy, really. We're only 2.5 years old. There's still lots of stuff that needs to happen to make the business efficient and working well, and doing everything that we want it to be able to do. It's a lot of work to get there. So
well, fair play to you, because that sounds like a nightmare. It sounds nearly as bad as putting on an event like Carl did to build. Before, when I was starting to build a business and I was building my agency in London, and we grew to a team of 8, which was kind of big for me. I thought that's what I want to do. I want to build a company. I read books like The E-Myth and stuff. This is how you build a company. You put the structure in, and you document and you delegate. And I now realize that I want to do that. I want to do that. But it's the little things. Like last night, I went out and there's an Irish bar around the corner, a proper Irish bar, and they do the music. There's got the fiddle and they've got the guitars and they're doing all the Irish classics and loads of people and just going out and chatting to other people, spending time meeting people. Meet this woman, she came up to me. Oh, what do you do? I said, oh, I do, internet, YouTube stuff. She said, really? What you can make money off that? Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Yeah, just been to an event and with a load of other people there talking about it. And she's like, so really, you can. Yeah, she, oh, well, she subscribes. So she was quite drunk. She probably subscribed, but
She probably
still
listening.
get that, especially with slightly older people. When you say what you do, they go, just
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea.
I think it is going out in the world and meeting people. Like, my wife's doing a lot more of that. Like now she's getting a bit more freedom with the kids being a little bit older. We've got a nanny comes around every now and then. She goes out to the spa. She goes out and has lunches with people and dinners. And she's just way happier now. Like that she's doing all that kind of stuff. And I think it is. Yeah, you're right. Just doing things with your life.
That's what my Mr. I mean, she this morning. My wife, she just went out with her friends. They went up to the market and bought a few plants and some food and bits. And Bob just spent the morning with each other. They stopped for coffee. They chat. They hang out. It's nothing major, but that's actually the little things in life, and it's generally just connecting with other people. And it's very hard to do that, although we feel like we're doing that online. It's actually going outside a bit. That's what really makes a difference. As we saw from the event this weekend, it's a totally different thing, and it makes you feel good. It does make you feel good when you meet other people, you talk to people, you listen to them, and you ask them questions, and you just have a conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad they're reading the comments. I don't think we're the only ones that feel like this. To be fair, it looks like lots of people have the same kind of feelings.
Not everybody is.
Yeah, like Hannah said, they're figuring out how to get rid of that guilty feeling whenever I enjoy some free time.
Marcus,
I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it comes from when we used to have a job, or maybe it comes from some of these books, these self-help books or business books that kind of instill a kind of, you've got to put the hours in, you've got to do all these productive things. I don't know, where does that guilt come from? Maybe it's from our parents. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we publish videos where it's like, publish X hundred articles in 3 months, and everyone feels like they're behind, So,
but you could do that without, when you get to a point when you've got a bit of money, you can kind of outsource and streamline that process, so you still don't have to put too many hours in.
Yeah, that should be the goal. All right, I got to check, guys. Thanks, everyone, and I'll catch y'all next week. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there. All right,
we're back on mine next week.
Okay, cool. All right, see y'all.
See you later, Doug.
So I always forget to do this at the start of every show because, at the start of the Niche Lifestyle shows, because it's a different format and just only do it once every 3 weeks. So just forget to ask all the things. So of course, people have been asking questions, making comments, which is great. We also ask for some likes. So if we get likes, we get some merch. Luckily, despite not asking for likes, we got them anyway. So 43 likes.
43, wow. But let's do some questions if you've got them.
We've been picking them up as we go. There's a few things that I've kind of picked up on here, but they've kind of gone past. We've gone past a lot of them now, I think. But like Ad was saying, is same thing. Everyone's feeling the same way. Achiever mentality. I'm glad it's got a name. We hope to reap the rewards. What else is there? Yeah, it was talking about if you keep. Yeah, if you're in the groove, it's good to keep going sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes when you're working on something and you're getting carried away and you're getting into it and it's going well, then you can work for hours and hours and hours and it can feel fantastic, can't it?
Yeah. But yeah, covering a lot of the same ground. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to ask people to make a comment in the chat if they are interested in getting in the draw for the merch. So pick your name, type something, anything, hello, goodbye. Why have you got your hand on your head, Alex? Anything you like into the chat, and then we will. Yeah, that's just the way YouTube works, and we'll enter you into the draw. So type something into the chat in the next 2 minutes or so. We'll put you in the draw. In the meantime, should we go next week? So next week we're on Alex's channel. How to start an online business with $100 is the title of the show. The links for Doug's channel and Alex's channel are in the description if you're not already signed up. And if you're new around here, just so you know, we rotate this show on, it's the same show, but we rotate it on 3 different channels. The Alex and Doug's channel are down below. So go grab it. Anything else to mention this week coming up for you, Alex? You want to share?
What have I got coming up? I'm going to be doing a little working stream tomorrow. So it's a little bit earlier tomorrow. Let's check the time. It's 11:45 Spanish time, so that'll be 10:45 UK time. Just hanging out, just working on some sites, listening to some lo-fi, chilling. It's often good fun. The other thing I wanted to say is, since Affiliate Gathering and also just meeting with Niche Site Lady, who has gone from like 0 to 7,000 followers on Twitter in just a couple of months, I've really been like getting into Twitter. And if you're not following me on Twitter, I'd love you to come find me. It's WordPress Eagle. Just search for that. You'll find me and follow and let me know what you think. I'm finding it a lot more fun and getting a lot more engagement than I ever have done on Facebook, which was always seemed to be my go-to thing, you know, the Facebook groups and the Facebook pages. But I'm finding Twitter a lot more fun and getting a lot more interaction, which, yeah, that's what leads to the fun. So come follow me. I mean, I've grown like by 100 followers in just a few days, from a couple of tips that Niche Site Lady told me and a tool that she shared with me. So I'm going to stick with it for a couple of weeks, and then obviously I'll report back on my channel about the tool and whether it was worth it and how Twitter can maybe be a platform. I'm now kind of hoping that Elon doesn't get it and mess with it, because it seems to be in a pretty good place at the moment, Twitter.
Wow,
Twitter
that's
probably
interesting.
a younger demographic than Facebook. I don't think it's anything to do with demographics, Stuart. I think it's just that the way that Facebook now is, in terms of they're trying to monetize it so much that in order to get any reach, it's very difficult. Whereas Twitter, I don't think has quite got to that point yet. That's what I'm saying. Maybe when Elon comes in and he wants to get more money out of it, then that may change. But I don't know. You guys use Twitter at all?
No, I've never really got on with it, but I might give it a go again. Although finding time, Adam and I have been talking about needing to find time. It's more time to spend on social media, chatting to people, but we never quite found it. But
I found the tool that I found is really good in terms of it's good at inspiring you on what to tweet about based on like other tweets and stuff. It gives you an idea of what to write about. It's very good at also scheduling up tweets. So I can sit down on like a Monday and go, okay, I'm going to do my Twitter, spend an hour or two on it. And then I've got, 2 weeks worth of tweets ready to go. And then all I'm doing then throughout the week is just, responding to comments and retweeting bits and bobs, but I'm not actually able to think about it too much.
What's the tool, if you don't mind sharing?
The tool is called Tweet Hunter.
Tweet Hunter. Okay.
Nice.
And I was hoping to get my wpeagle.com/tweet hunter if it's not too late.
Set it up right now. Get on it right now. Set it up.
Yeah, that's an affiliate link. Thank you. wpeagle.com/tweet hunter.
Oh, crap at doing that with the affiliate links, must be said. Much better. So, okay, so you might as well use yours. Okay, so let's.
We've got. Do you want to mention our event, Mark, before we do the giveaway?
Let's mention the event. What event? Oh yeah, the event. So we've got.
What event? Were you really going to say what event then?
I was really going
We've
to.
done the event. That was last weekend. Yeah. Oh, there's another event. That one that you're doing, and you've got some big name speakers this time. Is it true you've got Miles signed up for this?
Yes, Miles Beckler. Yeah.
Wow.
It's true. And Ricky's coming.
Miles was doing anything. I thought he'd retired out into the countryside to go chop some wood and go off the grid.
I don't think he is really doing too much, actually. I think not in the same way anyway. But he's doing building empires. That's right. Yeah. So I think yes. So building empires, 7th and 9th June, and 2 weeks away now. Building.empires.live is the URL. It's free to register. As we know, we've got lots of people. 3 days of talks. Essentially, we've got like Ricky from Income School, Miles Beckler, as I mentioned. We've got Alex and Doug. We have some people from Azoic. We have somebody from Flipper, somebody from Empire Flippers. So we've got a whole bunch of people. So it should be good. Sign up. It's for free. It's free, as I say. So go to building.empires.live. So in terms of tomorrow, we've got a show tomorrow. Adam and I got, so it was going to be 0 search volume keyword research, and it still might be, or it's going to be how to write 5,000 words a day, which is so either way, it's going to be one of those. But yeah, me and Adam are going to chat about it and see which one it's going to be. But if not,
I'm keen for the 5,000 words a day because I haven't pulled the case study together yet. So I mean, easier for me, make my life easy.
I need to check with Michael because we did say to Michael it was going to be the 26th, but I just need to check he's definitely ready for it now. But I think he is. I think he was expecting it, so we might go for that because I think it'd be really cool to do that one if we can. But the next couple, so the Tuesday stream's happening next week, and the Wednesday stream, Niche Lifestyle Show. Next week on a Thursday is bank holiday in the UK, so we may not actually do a stream that day. And the week after that is Building Empire, so we're putting a pause on all our streams that week because it's 3 days of content essentially, and it overlaps the stream, so we'll be just competing with the event, which doesn't make any sense at all. So the week after next, there'll be no shows that we're going to do. So yeah, it's probably going to be how to write 5,000 words a day tomorrow, and then 0 search volume keywords in a few weeks' time. But I have grabbed everybody before it all disappeared. I did grab them for this draw. So shall we hit up the draw?
Yeah.
I'll put the music on. I'll get the
music on. Nice. Chill. Okay.
Just quick one.
Transition.
Just a quick remark. The event will be restreamable, right? You can watch it afterwards, I think, can't you?
It will be, yes. Sign up. You just sign up to the event anyway, and you'll get notifications. But it will be available. They will be available after. So obviously, you won't be able to participate. We're going to have panels at the end of it every day, which you can ask questions to all of the speakers from that day. So if you obviously you can watch it live after, but you won't be able to participate directly otherwise if you're not there on the day. Okay, so here it is, draw for some merch. Here's the merch. Quickly, whilst some t-shirts, some mugs, some caps. Spin back to the wheel. Not Maeve again, surely. And then Maeve wants another. It's gonna be Oliver.
It is.
Oliver.
Oliver, is it?
Oliver.
Well done, Oliver.
Congratulations, Oliver. Head over to nichewebsite.builders. Hit us up on the chat or the contact form to claim your merch. We'll send you over the options. Cool. Well, thanks, Alex, for your time today.
Thank you for having me on. It's been good.
Yeah, good to see you in person as well. So
it was a great weekend. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And
you going to do affiliate gathering southern Spain?
Well, that could be on the cards. Yeah, why not? Do it in Malaga. Malaga's pretty easy to get to for most people. Get somewhere with aircon, we'll be fine. Well, Jonathan, who's in the chat, he's also in Spain. He's a few miles from me. He's up in Valencia. But there's a couple of Spaniards there. Well, we're not Spaniards. We're immigrants that live in Spain. There's a few people from Spain there.
Yeah. When we come to Spain, I'm going to try and convince my wife to stay. So we might be in Spain as well.
Oh, good. Well, if you do come down these parts, then come look me up. We'll go for a beer.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow if anybody's joining. Otherwise, see you next week for the lifestyle show as well.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.